In high school, I was very much against the, the policies of the war in Vietnam. But I also knew, because I had family fighting there, that that's the way I looked at it. I didn't care for it too much, but I respected the young men and women that served our country at that point in time in my life. And and then plus the background of our family on my dad's side, from World War II all the way through. My dad and his two brothers to World War II, my oldest cousin and my dad's youngest brother, my other uncle, Korea. Then the four of us in Vietnam, and then one in Desert Storm. So it's not, I guess you could call it a tradition to a certain degree. It was, and it was just something that men on my dad's side of the family did. And of course, you have those thoughts. Well, I don't want to go. It crosses your mind. I don't want to go. I can go to Mexico. I can go to Canada. But my thought was, I can never come back to my country and live comfortably. And the shame of it, I think. So I said, this is where I was born, and this is my obligation to my country. It's in our Constitution. So hey, it was either get drafted, which I didn't want to do. I figured the Air Force was okay. If they were going to send me to Vietnam, I was going to be in a desk like this and typing off orders and forms and stuff. And I figured, well, but at least I went, But little did I know what was in store for me. Special Forces training. The experience of walking in through the bush and walking into an ambush or a column or the enemy itself in whatever strength they had. It wasn't a game. Yeah, in Vietnam we used to hear about all that. I get letters from friends, very good friends, of the moratoriums that were being marched, the protests that were being done at the different colleges and schools in our communities, especially out here in LA, Southern California. Kind of hard when you're in the middle of a place where it's god awful, and then you're hearing about people bringing draft cards and the flag and being disrespectful in that way. It was kind of demoralizing to a certain degree. But you picked it up and you didn't let that affect you. You went and did your mission and you took care of whatever had to be taken care of. At that time, there was still a lot of problems going on in the military. The Anglo and the Mexican American, sometimes with the black or the African American, if you will. We had those problems. I know we had it in Japan when I went there. I know we had it in Hawaii, and most definitely in the South, where I was stationed at Keystone Air Force Base, Biloxi, Mississippi. Even on base there was a big tension you could feel. Cut it with a knife, if you will. There was just a lot of stuff going on, in the military, where we had that problem. In fact, I was there when they instilled the race relation that you had to take as a requirement for any military branch. We had to go to those classes, and you had to get a certificate for it. And they did extensive stuff. I think ours was like 3 to 4 weeks. And they made sure that we knew, regardless of what color you are in that uniform or what your cultural background is, you're all one. You're Air Force. That's the way it is. And you better start thinking that way. But still, even sometimes in the upper echelons of command, at the officer level, above major, and say from colonel and above, there was some real problems. I know I went through a couple. If you didn't get wounded or hit in any way, but there's still that mental health thing issue. You've seen so much at a young age. Bodies torn apart, people being disfigured. It becomes at first, it doesn't get to you because, maybe you still have time left in the service like I did. The continued duty and everybody wearing the same thing. You're wearing a uniform. Everybody's wearing the Air Force blue or the Navy blue or the Army green or the United States Marine Corps green, and you know, you don't think about that at that point. But when your body is you get given the chance to relax and settle into civilian life, it comes back to haunt you big time. I know it did me. And I think one of the things that I see even today is the self-medication, the alcohol, the drugs, and all that. When I got home, when I got separated, I went to college right away. So, but at the same time, that's how I started working with the Veterans Affairs. I went on to work study at Cal State Los Angeles and became an outreach counselor, trained by them, and started helping the vets in that manner, and it continued on up until today. So that's what I do for a living. I started to play in a band because I'm a musician. I'm a drummer, percussionist. I started playing in a band, and we did rather well and started working. But at the same time, going to school, how I maintained the 3.5 grade average beyond me. I guess it's just the will and desire to get it done. But there were things going on, the nightmares, the flashbacks, the short-temperedness, the ability not to listen, the overall aspect of my life was in ruins, even though I was going to school. But I went on to overcome those things. The PTSD programs came into effect, and some very good friends of mine got me involved in the PTSD clinic in East Los Angeles. And I started getting the help that I needed. It was pretty bad. When people you think are your friends, even sometimes your family, I know my family was pretty good about it. My dad, especially mom, my sister, some of my cousins and stuff. But I think just the people that were friends, or I thought were friends, male and female, they would, hey, you went to Vietnam, what are you doing over there, man? People that look at the Vietnam experience as something that was the only war that the United States lost, I beg to differ with you. Vietnam was a very popular war, and I think that's what people don't understand is that we, as a military, all branches, put our asses on the line for this country and for what it was, and for what we stand for. And don't look at us as the defeated warrior. Look at us as the proud warrior that went and served with pride, dignity, and honor. Being a veteran is a very proud thing, but it takes its toll. Proud to serve in the United States Air Force. That's something nobody can take away from me. I could carry that to my death and be proud of it. Any young man, young person, anyone, male or female, who goes into the military today, it's all volunteer force. We don't make you do it. But a message to the families of these young men and women. They're going to need your support morally, and they're going to need your support in every phase of the word support. I'm not saying you have to condone some of the behavior patterns, okay, that's understood. But what I'm saying is sometimes these things are triggered off by the experiences of those that have been through combat.